at my house. I brought it with me.
Oh, there's my deal. Oh, good boy.
You look nice again. You want to sit up, mother, a little
She
bit?
just said,
It's cold.
look at my boys.
I had to-
I know, it was raining every inch of the way here.
What is it?
But I got used to it. As you
Feet
do.
are off the bed. You want to?
Need another
Lift her up.
chair.
Wait, hang on.
No.
No, hey Mark, listen to me. Unless she says something, don't do that, okay? Unless she
What?
brings it
Or
up.
if you go this far off the bed.
It doesn't make any difference.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna ask her when I see that it
No,
looks like
don't.
I am. Regardless.
You know better than I do, I guess. You come over here. I'm asking you not to say anything,
And I was talking to Mom.
and I'm talking to you.
And,
Oh, don't cry and me. Oh,
They're griping about you, not to you.
oh, don't
You're
cry.
lucky.
Oh, don't cry to me. About
Well, there's four
me.
boys here.
Oh,
And Brant
and
sent a
that's
note and asked for us to watch a silent movie, and it really was really well done for the style. It's just the style that wasn't. Then I could have watched it, but
And it's just hard to watch a silent movie nowadays.
I watch a lot of them, but
Not me.
on Monday nights it's silent
Come
movie,
sit down.
silent night.
You're my big boys. My big boys.
Especially foreign ones.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's nice to have four of our 5 children here.
Isn't that great? Oh.
We're gonna see.
Let's call
That's
Brant.
what we're doing right now.
Oh, you are.
Uh-huh.
Oh. You'll make him.
No, you're not here. We are.
Oh, Lordy.
So I just got a text from Brant.
What
What did he
What
say?
is it? What is it doing?
I think Gil got it.
Yeah, it's of Buster Keaton or
That's just what I said.
Charlie Chaplin. No, he corrected me. I said that's Buster Keaton. He said no.
Harold Lloyd.
Harold Lloyd.
Hey, where's my TV?
Someone.
I was
I
thinking
see,
the same thing. I couldn't recall which one it was.
I just saw your text.
I just got a
Called
text.
Safety Last.
I just got a text from work, and the guy
Oh yeah.
who I used to work with texted me and told me that the guy that replaced me or took over my stuff, a young guy, Tulane chemical engineer, 7 years with the company, took over when I left, and they hired a full-time contractor to also do the job.
Hey,
And
give us
to-
a minute. The 4 brothers are here, so when you have 10 minutes or 5 minutes or so off, give us a call, Granddad.
And the 2 corporate people who work part-time supporting them. Anyway, the one, the Keenius guy, turned in 2 weeks' notice.
Wow.
And the guy said,
Turned into a what?
He
The guy that
quit.
took his place
quit.
couldn't handle it.
he couldn't handle my job. And he,
Of 20 years.
and a few weeks ago, probably a couple of months ago, he was talking to Susan Zollers, my friend, and she had been talking to him for a couple of hours about stuff, relating to what I do. And at the end, or towards the end, he blurted out, she told me, "There's no way one person can do this job."
We knew that.
Bravo, bravo.
We knew
That's
that.
what they found out at my school too.
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, that the upgrades that you have to do all of the time.
1, 2,
Yeah, just that
3,
one thing.
4.
No, starting with students.
Yeah.
No, I know.
Yeah, just
Dealing
now.
with a bunch of 130
Kids.
going through what we went through when we were
Yeah.
that age.
Bringing up the subject, there's 4 schools, I think it's coming out of HISD. HISD came under government control, state control, recently, and there's apparently 4 schools called NRS or something schools. I don't think that's the right number. But they have a new strategy, and supposedly they're doing a little better now. And secondly, tangentially, I heard that there's one school that doesn't allow any talking. I don't know whether that's related to that or not. But that's my education update.
Yeah, and they're also making the checking in every like few minutes or few,
They have to turn in their guns when they come in the door. So
there's something that's just the instructors are just so under the hammer. Yeah, and so now all of a sudden they come out and after one semester they say, "Oh, we're improving."
Yeah.
And I went,
Yeah, right.
what are they gonna say?
yeah.
Well, you can improve an entire school by just changing the bell schedule. Any change causes everyone to be on their toes and alert, and so it's just a psychological phenomenon that change is going to. So it wouldn't have mattered if they gave everybody a toothbrush or
And if you
In
just
about-
monitor it for 6 or 3 months,
Right.
you're gonna
Right.
get a tick.
Hey Joe,
In
plug
about-
that.
I
stick
gotta make a
that
point.
plug
In about-
into that.
In about 1890, there was a
The
guy
wheelchair
named Townsend, and he dimmed the lights, or he brightened the lights in a school. This is what it's.
right. That's the famous
Right.
experiment right
That's what I'm
there.
saying.
Yeah.
He brightened the lights at the school, and the grades went up. And so he thought, oh, I'm learning something. And then he thought, he came in and he dimmed the lights in school, and the grades went up. And so he learned that it changes. And that's why
The
Brand,
SIBO,
to bring it up to
SIBO.
current,
Well, it's
Brand,
not for the SIBO, but there is a psychological
Branch.
tendency.
Brandt's friend became a big shot in Microsoft. Quit REI. She was a double boss from him, and went to Microsoft. And Bill Gates said, "I hired you here to break something. Now go in there." And that's all he told her. And so she went in, and I don't know. Of course, about 2 years later, she quit.
Well, you have to break things under certain
Well,
circumstances.
that's a change.
Yeah, I know.
It's
And yeah, well, what were you gonna say?
no, just change is breaking.
Change
something.
and monitoring, because
Sure.
like Neil said, that you don't know whether it was that the lights changed or that all of a sudden there were people walking around saying, have the lights affected you,
Yeah, monitoring.
Neil, tell us about Carly and Douglas and Fiona.
Perfection and grace, all 3 of them. But no, real quickly, Fiona's working, so I'm trying to make her life as nice as possible, and we're doing stuff like all the time. I'm trying to keep things on the calendar. We went in to visit her old friends this weekend, stayed in Fredericksburg. Carly, I have been doing photography with, so I have to go send her some pictures I took on the way here.
Give her that retina.
Well, when she's old, she might get the retina. Now she can get my A1. But what she just did is, because she's got to do analog photography, I'm like, I did it. I didn't want to go this deep, but so I said, I showed her a couple of cameras, and so she went out and did a whole bunch of research, and she bought like the last film camera made. And so it's got all the technology, but it's a film camera. So it was released in 2003. And 10 years after I got my first digital camera, but it was the first digital camera. So we're having fun with that. I texted her this morning and I said, foggy morning pics, and she says, good idea.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Douglas, he sent me he's angling for a new computer, it appears, because I've been getting texts about recent computer technology, which leads me to believe that he's starting to think about new computers. But he was just at home for he's all growing up. He's growing up.
He was home for the Christmas holidays.
Yeah, he was home for Christmas, so we spent a bunch of time with him. So that's about it.
But I heard that he made pretty good grades last semester.
He's killing it, totally killing it.
I can't
And
hear you. What is it?
he's
Do you have
doing
your hearing
very well
aid?
in school. He changed his classes, and he's getting letters every semester that he's in the 4.0 whatever club or the president's club, and he's doing real well. He can do school. He knows how to do that.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, it makes my life a lot more relaxed because I couldn't have helped him after 6th grade. He was already.
Well, I wish I knew what the secret was. I never could do anything to make my kids successful.
Well, yeah, I hear you, but
I'm just teasing
I know you are. So he is, and what's cool is he's got a little tribe of friends, which is super cool.
At school or the ones at home?
At school, but he's got
Good.
his tribe at home is staying real close there.
Tribe is a group, a clique of people. He's got a bunch of friends.
So he's
Brian.
doing real. He's
Well,
doing real
she
well.
was asleep, and so I just wanted to.
She's so good.
Here.
We're just cruising everything.
Mark,
Carly
bring the thing,
is,
lift up her head a little bit.
She's working and
Well,
but
Lord,
Why
Is she at a
Oh,
Kroger?
but you know what? She sent. She said she did this intentionally because
yeah, but
I nagged her for her whole life about it. Just get a spreadsheet. You don't have to do the math problem
I'm gonna
for the rest of your life. You just put it in a spreadsheet and you just
Yeah.
put at standard deviation and click enter, and it gives you the answer. So, and she always rebelled against me. So she showed me the other day her last year's budget completely filled out with color and everything, beautiful spreadsheet. And she says, I just copied it and for this year, and I'm starting and I'm entering my new stuff. And I was like, hallelujah. And she only asked me for $120 all year last year. So now I do
Wow.
her car and her phone I take care of. So she's very subsidized. But that when she went to Costa Rica, she was short that month.
Now what?
Super proud of her.
Good
What?
job.
But she is, she's working, and I wish she was going to school, but I can't make her pick up a pen. She's doing her own thing, and we're in touch, and she's super sweet. I told you, I sent her the old camera. She bought it for $30, and the old camera. And so she sent me a little video. What they do is, do you ever hear this? Instead of talking on the phone to someone, which they don't do they do now when they're older, they make a video recording of everything they want to say, and then they send the video to someone.
I haven't seen that.
Yes, that really happens, if you can believe it.
Wow.
But when your daughter does it to you, it's super cute. So.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
So
yeah.
I always thought it was the most ridiculous thing, but I got a video the other day, and it was just.
That's interesting.
I get a lot of, not videos, but, voice
Voicemails.
message, yeah.
Yeah.
Voice
but-
or FaceTime.
Especially when they're
FaceTime
driving.
What's that?
When they're driving, they'll just hold the button down and say what they need to say and then let go and hit,
Well, that's
Yeah.
smart.
yeah.
But so that's it.
Hmm.
And
And the patio?
the patio it's coming along nice. It's taking too long.
So is it 80, would you say? Percent or?
Yeah, it's 85%. 85%. And it's just the rain and stuff, and frankly, the holidays, and they're probably prioritizing other jobs over mine, to be totally honest.
Why?
But,
No,
well,
who has another
because-
job?
because, this contractor probably has 5 jobs going on.
But why theirs more than yours?
Because I'm nicer. And-
Oh.
Okay.
But there's a trick to the niceness.
Of course there is.
The trick to the niceness is I have one thing that needs to be done perfectly. And I'm about to write him a letter because it's going to be documented. I'm going to title the subject line, "My Main Concern."
Good one.
And that dude is going to nail my one concern because I've been easygoing, but there's no halfway, no nothing. 110%. He's got to get this done. So, and he
What's the
hadn't.
matter?
What is the issue? The issue is the flashing on the roof above the holes. You have to keep the water, all the water. So they've got to do all kind of metal flashing within the roof to keep it from going down the hole. And now that I've got, I don't know if you've seen a picture of the bench, it splashes all over.
I gotta do number 1. Well, I gotta do, when I was in the first grade, you had to hold up one finger if you had to do number 1, and 2 fingers if you had to do number 2. But that's not what, I want your attention, please.
Okay.
I'm going back to cameras, when you were on camera. So I went to eBay and they have a Brownie Hawkeye like I use, like I took pictures of the entire class that when all the pictures in the yearbook were the Brownie Hawkeye, and it's only $140 for the Brownie Hawkeye. I was gonna buy one, but then I went further down and there's one for $34. I think I'll buy it and give it to her. Except
Well,
she never would take it.
Don't do that yet. Let me tell you what
She's already buying a film
We're-
camera.
we're doing experimenting in photography, and she's doing analog. I'm not, but
So how about a dark room in your house so she can come to, she's not there. Does she have a dark room in her?
no.
Can you get 620
What I
film now?
did
Like a
do
closet,
is I gave
converted
her
closet?
$21 a month transfers out of my account to develop one roll of film, and they give you pictures and digitized. So for 6 months.
Uh-huh.
And I just did this because we've been into this, and
Uh-huh.
I said, okay, I'm gonna a project of a roll a month. You have to buy the film, but I develop it.
That's cool.
Here's one for $20. She probably wouldn't. Do they make 620 film anymore?
Well, even if it was even if it was
120.
it was a
620.
decoration,
I was
it'd
worried
be
about
worth $20.
Yeah.
Hey, Betty Broom, why don't you grab that trapeze and pull your feet onto the
I
table?
was worried about you.
You know,
Or,
Good.
There you go.
So she doesn't, she doesn't want to get
Pull up
involved
your
in that
knees.
mess of the
All
first
right.
son.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
would,
Good.
but it's
Push
too
with your
much. I mean,
feet.
she's
Yeah.
living
Pull,
in an
pull, pull.
apartment,
Yeah, I got
even
you.
though I
2, 3,
did it.
go.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
you did.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
No,
Good one,
no,
Bob.
no, it's not.
A little bit higher, I think.
It's
Wait, no,
high.
in fact, let's
Joey, it
Dad,
hurts.
get ready to lay down.
It hurts me.
Oh,
I was
Mom.
worried about you. Well, you did push on her knees hard, and that shoves
Thank you,
in.
Brad.
There you go, Betty Brown.
You hear, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
That's good, good, good.
So, Brian, I don't want her to go down that path because it
Or,
then I will so when you do darkroom photography, the stages are, you take a roll of film, you take the pictures, then you put it in a canister, and you just develop, you put chemicals in it, and you just develop the film, the roll of film. What I want her to do, if she wants to go down that path, I'm gonna say that's as far as you go, and scan your
Negative.
negative, thank you, or positive, whatever it is.
So what is all the, I don't know, you know, all I know is they put them in liquid and then put them in another
Yeah,
liquid.
but
Those are enlargements, and they.
Those are enlargements? When they're
turning it into a
something
larger
different.
positive.
I see.
that's not something, if she wants to do that in her
That's
future,
expensive too nowadays.
it is. And even
You buy
analog,
antique equipment, maybe.
even anything analog, she could do digital. I mean, I just stopped and took some pictures
I
on
was
the
just
way.
trying to see what the ages here are here.
69, 68, 67.
66.
63.
My baby.
Yeah.
90.
How old is Brant?
Well,
He's 10 years younger than me.
7
He's
years
56.
younger than me.
he's how old?
56,
56.
I would say. Depending on his birthday.
Well, his birthday's coming pretty soon, I think.
March 31st. So I'm guessing that's when he'll be
Now,
56.
when's his birthday?
March 31st?
March 31st.
For some reason you had him off. He's an outlier.
Well,
He's not on the bell curve.
He's not, well, Joe is too.
Oh yeah, Joyce too.
How so? You mean the time of year?
Yeah, just
Oh.
when Dad and Mom were
My
fooling
next door
around.
neighbor has all the birthdays are like within days of Christmas. It's like
Mm.
a cluster, and it's
Hmm.
and I always get him a birthday gift because he's one of those. His birthday is the 26th,
Oh shoot.
and as a joke, I just get him I mean, it's like literally a $1 CD
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
But this year he bought his first turntable since the 80s, and I bought him a record.
Mm.
What record did you
Hey,
get?
they sounded good too. I was really surprised. What
You know
did I
what?
get? I got him.
I've been playing old records on my new record player. So I don't even know what it sounds like. I need to get a new record. Brand new, pressed. Wow.
You can actually go get an old record at half
Joe.
price books. But
Dad,
just look to see
Can
how
you
good a shape
take a
it is. Because
picture
a lot of
I don't know what to look. I don't know what to look for except scratches, I guess.
Mhm.
The only record I remember in growing up was My Fair Lady, and the guy with his puppetry marionette guy.
Oh.
What was his name? The actor. Shoot. Anyway, and he was Marinette, the girl. You remember the album? Do you?
No, but when you do this,
Oh.
it means
Marinette. Oh. So, Dad, do you remember that? Or Mom, do you remember that
My Fair
album?
Lady.
My
I
Fair
thought
Lady, and it's that very famous dude.
Oh yes.
And he's balancing.
And there's a girl in a dress.
Catherine,
a
not
floating dress.
Hepburn. My God, Ryan, I'm in the arts.
Okay,
Well, what's her name?
Y'all be
What's the
still.
girl?
Y'all be still. No, it's
Mark-
alright.
Mark will be
It's a
back in
pano.
just
It's
a
a
second.
pano.
Okay. Well, Mark will be here in a second. He's
Okay, well this will be a practice.
okay.
Okay, what was it?
Rex Harrison.
There you go.
And
Rex
she
Harrison.
was the one from Holiday, Royal Holiday.
Audrey Hepburn.
Audrey Hepburn.
How was she cute?
Why, by Joe, I think she's got it.
I went to a party in Baltimore.
Where is that bloody rain?
In Spain, no, on the plane,
Yeah.
the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plain.
Yeah.
The plane.
That was a good one. We need to turn that on.
What'd you say?
I went to a party in Baltimore, and it was the garment group, so it was all art, you know.
I'm gonna get timed out if I don't interrupt you. I
Okay.
need to answer y'all to answer a question. I timed into eBay.
One
Wait a
second,
minute, Mom. I logged into eBay with my account, and it says this account already exists. Do you want to replace your account with the new one using this email address? I've never heard that before.
Yeah, it
Or
sounds like a
would you
scam.
like to prefer to sign in to your existing account? So I think I could. Hey,
Well,
let
sign
me-
into
Hey,
your
Miss
existing
Natalie.
account.
Well, I don't know the
Hey,
password.
chair right
I don't
over
know the
there.
I
password.
thought you had the passwords figured out.
Well,
The book that I
Now,
bought
this
for
is
you.
you know, he's trying to get into eBay now, and that's
I
different.
know there's a password book that he has that you open it up to eBay and then the password's there.
well, I know, and you got to
You gotta
get
do
that
it.
started, and I've started it 50 times, and it's hard to do.
Well,
Oh, passwords, keeping up with passwords, getting the
That
password
one,
books is
I
very
was
easy and you fill
actually
it out.
talking about. Actually, we were talking about. I was in Baltimore. Went to a party.
Oh.
Audrey Hepburn. Audrey Hepburn. Do you know Audrey Hepburn with the hair up? Went to a party, and this exact replica of Audrey
Ooh,
Hepburn
wow.
with the pillbox,
Wow.
the whole thing. It was a dude.
Oh.
It was a dude.
Of course it was.
Nailed
her.
Nailed it.
Mm-mm.
Nailed
Did
it.
you like see it from the back first, and then he turned around, or
Mm.
what? Or he was just
No,
like, really
I just
convincing
you
that?
just go Audrey Hepburn, and then you.
I would like to go to bed with him.
No, I had
brother.
a sweetheart.
I know you did.
Now where is he?
Where is he?
This
I
other
don't
guy.
know.
Mark.
It's the other guy.
Marco Polo?
Oh,
Did
oh,
you
I
eat
have to get my
something?
bag out of the
I
car.
will in a moment.
Okay.
I'm okay.
Do you have
I'll
some?
be right back.
Watch out for food that you might have in there. Natalie, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful.
Stand up for a second. You have a cool outfit on. I didn't quite see it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's a
awesome.
jumper. That's a jumper, I think.
Dress up a little bit.
Is it called a jumper?
Yeah, sure.
But it's.
This is
but
kind of
you-
like what they wear in the Blue Man Group, right? Like
Or on
Like a full
what's
suit?
the name of that show?
But you also have long sleeves. It's a jumper
I
with long
do.
sleeve. That's different.
it's got a lot going on to it.
Where'd you get it?
Online,
Online.
you
Yeah.
know, in this day and age.
And boots.
Yes.
But to get it to work, I mean to fit you so well, that's
Yeah.
you did pretty good there.
Yeah,
It's easy to return things, isn't it?
I would say so.
I say that because that's how you get the right outfit. I have to buy a pair of pants and then return it until I get the right one.
Yeah, it can be hit or miss.
That's why
Now
he's.
what do you do?
Oh, I buy clothes online now, and you know sometimes they don't fit. But Jeff Bezos has made it as a multi-billionaire because he said, well, you know, that people need to return it, so they made it remarkably easy to return it. I can take it out of the package and walk over to her and say, here, and let her click my little thing. But that's all you have to do, and they're on every corner, so you can just return anything and everything. In fact, I'm sure you could wear it for that wonderful wedding party and then send it back if you want to. I'm sure nobody does that, except that everybody does that.
I bet, hey, give Mom a shot of water there, would you?
No.
Why do you say no every
Why
time?
didn't you ask her? Why did you bring it up?
Because her tongue is stuck to her mouth.
Exactly. I have often
Pecan pie.
walked down
Do you
the
want some
street before.
pecan pie?
And
What?
Hated
Would you like some
always
pecan pie?
stood beneath my
Yes.
feet before. All at
Okay.
once
Ice, no ice
Pecan
cream.
pie
I don't guess we have any ice cream, do we?
whipped cream. Shh. You saw I brought the Ready Whip.
First heat it up and then put
Oh, that is nice.
microwave for 15, 20
You
seconds.
go inside. You
No,
go
no,
in
no,
there
no.
and-
I got it. With hot heated with foam.
You might want to heat the whole pie.
Just a little bit of pie.
Do it
Who's
with whipped
that?
cream.
And no cream.
Ah, Margaret's here.
Margaret.
Who's here?
Margaret. Margaret
The
came
nurse.
over.
Oh my.
Heated. Neil, did you
It's
ask
okay,
me or
she
no?
comes in.
Margaret, the nurse. Margaret, the nurse.
What does Margaret
Our
do?
older boys are here.
Mm-hmm. And Brad's in spirit.
What does Margaret do with you?
Oh. Where's she?
I wish I could imitate. Can you imitate Brad?
I think maybe I will heat the whole thing up
Yeah.
and cut it and then
Little
serve.
slice for me.
Okay.
Good to see you, young
Hey
lady.
there.
You're beautiful
Hey, how are
today.
you? Thank you.
Oh,
Great.
I'm just
Thank you.
enjoying it all.
Sit down.
Are you feeling better?
Feel better.
You were feeling.
Oh, yeah, a couple weeks ago or something. But
Yeah, a couple. Yeah, I guess it's been a
Yeah,
little while.
it's been a while. Yeah. Oh,
See, Mom and I were singing Amazing Grace.
What you got?
Well, have you thought of anything else for the story?
No, but we could do some more planning today.
Sounds like a plan.
It's always developing in the subconscious mind.
We could get everybody else here to throw in an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them the story maybe, and that might be a good topic to bring up. I'd love it if Mom came up with an idea for the story. We got this story, Mom, where there are several people who are associated with this experiment where they discovered a sort of a field like gravity that is as big as the whole universe, okay? And because of an experiment, there was a time change that only certain people felt. And they haven't really discovered that they felt it yet. They're just, that's part of the story, is that they gradually come to discover that time changed for them slightly during that experiment. And so far it's a good story. I think it's good enough to be a book. I don't think it should be just a short story anymore.
He went in the kitchen.
Okay.
I don't know what.
I was just gonna prop you up
I
a little
don't know
bit
what he
more.
was doing.
I don't know either. What happened to Margaret? Was that Margaret or was that Connie that Dad thought was Margaret?
It's Connie because Margaret isn't here.
Right.
Hold on.
Well, I thought maybe she was
Hold on.
fussing with them in there.
Lift your knees. There we go.
Now, whose car was that?
Connie.
Connie.
Hey!
She's got a real nice jumper. That's like
There's sandwiches.
Okay, I'll eat in
Yeah,
a
she's
second. I'm
gonna
just
get
so
one.
hungry.
Toast the
Oh well.
Hey, Mark, go grab one of those tall white chairs.
You need
One of
to
those
exercise more than me. Here, have a
One
seat.
of those what?
Tall white chairs.
Oh,
Dad went on with the research about entanglement. Did you see? I sent a copy of the thing that he was looking at, and
We're all
it
moving in
seems like
here.
it could be a good,
We can go in the
you
living
know,
room if you want
touch for
to
the
come.
story is to say
Too
that,
much trouble.
It's no trouble, Mom.
because apparently I
Oh,
didn't know this until he
Come
showed me
sit down
this,
in
but
here.
entanglement theory is involved
The
with
bed's been raised since last
explaining
time I was
why birds know to fly south for the
I
winter.
don't know how it
Really?
is
Wait,
put
Grandma.
together.
Yeah, go ahead.
Tell me about that.
That's been
Entanglement,
probably
you
a good
know,
thing.
you heard of
But how-
I
entanglement.
like your hair like that.
Oh, thank you.
In the eye
Didn't
of the
know
robin,
Yep.
they have a device
Which is good. I'm
that
trying to do that because when
identifies
it's short, it hits my
what
shoulders and then it
angle they're on.
flips
It
up.
identifies the magnetic
I don't like
field,
to
and it
flip
tells
up.
them, I'm on
So it's getting below that, so it
longitude,
doesn't flip as much.
26.2,
So that's my objective.
and
Or at least the direction.
that is the direction. That is a component of the direction, right?
Uh-huh.
And they said, I was on this component of the direction. When I flew down here, I'm gonna get on that component of that direction when I fly back. And so they're able to fly. That's explain. And nobody's ever really explained how birds fly back to the same spot.
Maybe it's
And-
just because like they haven't gone extinct, so the older generation always showed the younger generation, and then they got older, and then they showed the younger, and then like it's just been going on since.
Well, that was
we're
one of the
Yeah.
ways to explain it, but this is, and that, he
Well, wait a
said
minute.
that there was more
Wait a
than
minute.
one influencing factor, but this is the new idea of how they actually understand direction. And they're in a bird's eye, there are electrons that they're separated by this chemical called something chrome, pimachrome or something, and it separates the electrons where they are still entangled. You know, they're still, you know about entanglement, where they are related even if they aren't touching each other anymore. And then your brain, the bird's brain, emits one chemical when it hits one of the entanglement ends, and a different chemical when it emits or it is affected on the other one. So the bird feels a feeling, you know, and it could be a feeling like we feel Christmas feelings, or they even made a relationship with all of the good things that happen to you in life. You may have entanglement associations with them, but that you feel like you're going the right direction. And maybe one of them is that they are remembering that they flew south for the summer because they or for the winter because they remember their mama bird, you know, and they
Yeah.
associate it with a positive experience. Mommy, that's beautiful to see you happy and smiling. That's what Natalie does to you.
I can't hear you.
I said, Natalie makes you happier than most times because that's a big, pretty smile.
Yeah, you have long, pretty hair.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Somebody's in there eating or drinking or something. Oh, I think Neil is eating something. He found something to eat.
Yeah, those chicken sandwiches. Like you had. The chicken sandwiches, chicken salad.
Chicken salad sandwich.
Is Mark fixing you one, Connie?
I
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and just, who wants the big piece?
Would you
Really
like-
big piece. Would
Oh,
you like the
really
big piece?
big. Give me
Just get a
Thank you,
fork.
Here, Joe. You want some?
sure.
thank you.
Thank you. Oh boy.
That's it.
cream, Mother?
You go, Neil. Brian, Stephen Brian.
Thank you.
It was hard to
Mark,
cut
Ryan.
because it was had pecans
That's
on
good.
top.
Mm.
It's a good one.
But straight upside down, exactly upside down. Right with me.
Natalie,
Here, here.
No, there, on the, that's it,
the
good.
outfit's cute.
Thank you.
Yeah. She's gonna have a sandwich first. Maybe Mark's making her a sandwich. Mm. Yeah, that one's a good one, huh? Neil got it from the pie capital of Texas.
Which is
Okay.
Austin?
Someplace in between here and Austin.
Where's the pie capital of Texas?
It's just someplace that Brian found while he was doing all of his studies for his practices for the play. Must be in Brenham.
I wonder if Pie Capital is self-titled or if other people gave them that title.
Mm. Well,
I think Brian gave that to,
I
Okay, you just-
concur.
Neil?
well, I think you said Brian was the one that discovered it, son.
Oh,
And
really?
he told Neil, and Neil bought it.
Oh.
Aren't you eating?
In a moment.
Cindy had a doctor's appointment, and also her parents had a doctor's appointment that she was gonna go to and be a part of and take notes. And so she can't be here. But she says, hello, 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 hello. Mother, hello from Lucinda Marie Torres.
What?
Hello
Cindy,
from Cindy.
Cindy's
I interpreted for you.
at the doctor's.
Our parents here doing okay?
Really well, especially since the baby was born about 6 days ago, and she was in Corpus Christi for 4 days. She took the month off, so she's off for a month,
Wow.
and she's gonna go back and forth to Corpus and live there for a little bit. Help me, you know,
When we
take care
were-
of the baby.
Good, I'm gonna move out to your house. We'll
Do.
party down.
Do it.
When we were working,
Don't
when you
tell
had a
my wife.
baby, they gave you the whole day off.
Mm.
They gave you the whole day off?
No,
I'm about to say.
gave the mother the whole day off.
Yeah, that would be, that's about right.
What happened?
Mother-
Did they cancel on you?
Mother, did you literally toss the babies up in the air and
Why
juggle
not to?
3 babies in diapers? Did you have to do that with 3 babies?
Three
That's what-
babies.
That's what I picture.
I was just thinking about that. Yeah.
On a train.
You had 3 babies.
And you were on a train with them from Sherman, Texas to Albuquerque.
One was brand new, one was a year old, and the other one was 2.5 years old.
That could be a movie.
Oh,
Babies
it
on
definitely
a
could be a
train.
movie.
Does that mean all 3 were Irish triplets? Irish
What's an Irish stripper?
Irish twins are when 2 kids are born within the same calendar year, I think.
Well, that's impossible.
No,
No,
none of us
Oh, no.
were.
Or like whatever.
Because I'm a year and a half after Joe, and he's
1 year and 5
6
days.
days
Mm-hmm.
after me.
Okay.
When
We
I
didn't
went
quite
to
make that.
Yes?
Albuquerque,
Mm-hmm.
I took 3 babies, and I kept them in that room, in
Compartment.
a compartment, and I kept them in there so that they couldn't get away.
How did you warm the bottle?
Yeah, and I warmed the bottles out in
Hot water sink.
The thing?
the sink.
Under hot
Hot
water.
water.
And there was a whole bunch of Cub Scouts outside. And either while we were out going in or when we were in coming out, I saw that they were all eating ham sandwiches with mustard. which was my favorite at that time. And so I started crying and saying, I want a ham sandwich with mustard. And the nice Cub Scout leader gave Mom sandwiches for us.
Wow.
Yep, she had some extras.
Hmm.
Poor lady, she probably didn't get a sandwich for herself.
In Sherman, when you're at Sherman? Or around that time, or what are you saying?
On the train.
On the train. You were 2?
I guess so.
One and a half. 1.5.
No,
So,
Joe
two
would
and
have
a half.
been 4.
Three.
No,
or
2.5.
four.
He was 2.5.
Well, when the dinosaurs went
Don't
extinct?
argue about that.
Well, I'm doing the math
3.
in my head, and I'll argue it in a minute if I so choose.
Right, so I was 3 months old, and so you were a year, basically, and he was a year, 2
2 and a
years.
half.
Years
So
and
you
a
were
half.
2.5.
See,
It went.
I knew it.
What was your actual conversation?
Oh, mother,
Strange.
juggling 3 children, you know,
On
and,
a train.
on a train from Sherman to Albuquerque.
Oh, right.
And you were just a gleam in Dad's eye, Mom and Dad's eye, soon to be.
What?
You were snarl in Mom's lip.
Where, Mom, where was Neil born?
What?
Mom, where was Neil born?
There's a lot to be said.
Home, Louisiana.
Home in Louisiana.
Terrebonne General.
I'm pretty sure I have Mom.
Wow, really?
I'll tell the story. I don't remember. I think this was Neil. They were both easy. All of her children were. There were no trouble for me, but they. She didn't have a lot of trouble with labor, and so when I think it was when Neil went into the hospital, well, they didn't put her to the labor room. They just put her in a room, and then they would, when she got into labor, they would put her in the labor room. So she's just in the room, and so I go to see her, and she's just in the room. She's not in the labor room, and she says, "Get
Was
me
she in the
out of
labor
here."
room?
She get me out of here. I'm about to have this baby, and they won't take me in there.
Ay, Chihuahua.
And so I think, well, so I walk in, and it happens that her
Water broke.
Doctor.
her doctor was walking by, and I said, Dr. Bringas, I says, she says that she really needs to go have this baby. And so he started to finish where he was going, and he stopped. And he thought, well, she had children pretty fast. And so he walked into the room where she was. It wasn't a labor room. And when he walked in, he said, "Whoops!"
Wow.
And so,
That was the technical
and he was,
term.
and so he was so dignified and everything. I just couldn't believe, that he had said that. And I told Mrs. Bringase that story. She laughed.
And that was Brian?
No, that was Neil.
Oh, Neil.
Well, Mom told
Brian
me
was Sherman,
similar.
Texas.
Mama told me this similar text is that the doctor was not in the room with me either. So I popped out without
Joe
a doctor.
Joe took 2 days or so.
God.
We with Joe, we were. It was close to Christmas, and so Bob and Jeannie came to see us, and they stayed and they talked. And we all talked, and everything was just normal, and everything was just normal. And they said, "Well, we're gonna go," and so they go and they stand at the door and say goodbye. And as soon as they close the door, they, "Get me to the doctor. I'm gonna have this baby."
Wow.
But she wouldn't say anything. Well, Bob and Jeannie were there because she didn't want to disrupt anything.
Mom,
Awesome.
why'd you do that?
Awesome mom, strongest woman in the world.
Right.
Why'd you do that, Mom?
Carly went down
Keeping up appearances.
last year to visit her biological sister. Just 2 nights visit, stay at her place, just to visit her sister in Corpus Christi.
Hey, Brian.
Went down there and she was pregnant. She had the baby while Carly was there.
Oh, good.
Well,
Wow.
Jeez.
And she kind of helped her through it, and so she's had another kid, and she called Carly
Right.
and says, "Hey, you're the most cool-headed. Why don't you come be my birthing partner?" And she went down and
Well, that'll postpone any pregnancies from Carly.
oh, you better believe it. Carly's whole attitude is like 30 years old. That's the day before I have kids.
Natalie, why don't you go visit Carly?
Well, nowadays there was a baby born just recently, and it was her second, and for her first she had a cesarean, and the minute she goes, "Oh, that hurts," they go, "Do you want a cesarean?" "Yes." So there was no delay there, and then this time the same thing happened. She goes,
I don't
"Do you want an
think,
epidural?" "Yes." "Do you want a C?" "Yes."
I don't think
There
if you
wasn't
have a
much-
C-section. I don't think. Do you go back?
That
No.
I know of.
No, I think if you have.
She was there just
You
2
can't.
days, and
What's
then
that?
Used to not be able to.
she's walking around now.
On your if you have a C-section, you can have a natural after.
I don't know.
I think back in the day that wasn't the way they just went. If you went C-section,
Well, usually the reason having a C-section is because you weren't able to give birth vaginally, and I mean the baby wouldn't fit,
right.
you know, and so it's not like
Well, I was there, and there was
But-
no issue. She just said, "Yeah, let's go ahead and do a C."
that's interesting.
She just, I know. I thought it was a little bit soon to make the decision, but who am I?
Yeah.
No, I meant that now you could do it either way,
Mhm.
Yeah.
but maybe there's some people that just choose to have it that way. They don't need to for their body.
Well,
I
for a
don't know. I'm
while,
probably overthinking it.
C-sections I think were getting
Too bad.
well
I
voluntary.
think about a
Yeah.
third.
Well,
Okay,
the doctors
that-
like
see, that
it.
wouldn't
The
make
doctors
sense.
like it because they know the day they're
'Cause
going to
it's
do it.
Yeah.
They induce it. They induce her, and they go through it. Yeah, it was all planned. The second one, they knew exactly what day they were going to go. She went in, induce, and go.
It's about a third of all the babies are now cesarean.
I think they're swinging back.
I heard that doctors like it, and that
Sure
they
they do.
encourage it more, and they shouldn't be encouraging it necessarily. Yeah.
Well,
Probably because
Almost.
it's planned and it doesn't mess up their schedule.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely.
when Carly was born, it was like 48 hours of waiting. You like
Wow.
I don't know if labor was 48 hours, but it was a long time, and everybody was. And then they came in. They said, "Well, this next doctor that's coming on to shift in 2 hours is going to do a C-section. You know, he's not a wait around kind of guy. If you've been here this long, you're going into C-section."
That's kind of an insane thing to
Wow.
say.
And it was a crazy thing to say, but let me tell you, she had that baby within the next 2 hours because she didn't want a C-section, and she was just like, okay,
that
let's
was so
get
cool
going.
that you were there for both those babies, just right
Yeah.
there. That's
Well,
beautiful.
there does come a point of trauma also to the infant, you know,
that's true.
but
Yeah.
depending upon what's going. I mean,
Yeah, if labor
Yeah.
lasts too long. That
Yeah.
happened to me.
You were
Oh.
C-section?
Yeah, well, there's like active labor, and then there's like the whole period before where you're just like slowly building up. And if the baby's in labor too long, it's stressful for the baby, and so they can go to the bathroom in the womb and then breathe it in. So that's what I did. So I had to have my lungs vacuumed.
Oh.
So if it's getting to the point where the baby's like getting stressed out, then they'll be like, okay, let's.
Well, that's a good reason to do it.
yeah.
Well, if you watch Jeremiah Johnson, there's this trail of Indians walking along, and this woman is carrying this baby, and then she stops behind a log, has the baby. They stop for a second, she picks up the baby and keeps moving.
Yeah.
Boy, I guess that's the way it used to be.
I think, yeah, kind of like what you were saying, moving away from cesareans, the whole birth culture is changing right now. I feel like with all of pop culture and like people trying to re-indigenize themselves a little bit, I think that's bleeding over into birth. So like, yeah, birth is always going to be painful, but I feel like for a period of time in modern medicine, people forgot how big of a role breathing exercises and like psychological preparation can play, and getting rid of the fear that make you clamp up and like fight your body instead of
Yeah.
like surrendering to it and just
Huh.
not that I have had a kid or would know, but like
Yeah.
I went through a phase where I was really interested in the birthing process and was like, I feel like this is knowledge that I should educate myself on beyond like a 5th grade level. So
One things that are coming out too, you know, information is coming out more and more with the, you know, the abortion issues and, you know, women that have difficulty with pregnancies
Oh,
and, you know, not only stress to the infant, but to them and, you know, that can change all of that and,
yeah.
that used not be around. You know, that lady would have been dead by the tree, you know, or for some of them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's true. Like the natural birth wave isn't to say that like if a woman doesn't go for that, then she's
Right.
like not doing it right.
And nor is it, you know, nor is it all the time. I know you know, one of my grandfather's first wives, oh God, he had, how many, I think 6 children he had 6 children, but she died in childbirth with twins.
Oh,
You know, so,
that's
you know,
so
I mean,
sad.
so she had already pumped out 6 kids and, you know, I don't know exactly what went wrong with my grandmother, but he later married mine, but anyway.
Mm.
He's a busy man.
So crazy.
Mhm.
That's so sad.
Yeah, so things can happen. I mean, it's.
Who's are we talking to Brad or something?
Just me.
30
are we doing
recording?
recording?
33
Oh, I wish I
mothers
would've
die out of every 100,000
I don't think so.
births. 33 out of 100,000.
Not in Texas.
But not me.
3 out
It's
of
half
10,000.
and half in Texas.
Well, yeah.
Not you,
Three.
Is
Hama.
that supposed to be here?
You just
When-
kept
when-
having babies.
When were the statistics?
Not 2021.
Where?
Did
What's
you
the
after
survey?
Brant? Did you
What?
just say
Where in the world?
In the United States.
Hmm.
after Brant?
That's
Did you
before they
just say
couldn't
no
get
more?
care With all of the,
More. Yeah.
yeah.
He's,
With all the new
he's in
restrictions.
somewhere.
You know where it is.
Seattle.
Where is he? Oh yeah.
Did we were on Malibu when Brant was born?
No,
Or
Nichols.
Nichols.
Oh,
Nick,
sorry.
remember Vanessa was across the street and she wanted to be the godmother.
Vanessa Huggers.
Poor
Is that her name?
Yes.
No.
You would have
Vanessa
never.
Plaisance. She
If
wore
I hadn't
pants.
remembered, you just got
She wore
off
pants
casually,
that
and I
were-
went
We're like
branching, and I took off
And
running.
the
and
thing at the
before she-
time was hip huggers,
Right.
and so we called her pants Vanessa Huggers.
We did, because it was a race
Those are so mean.
down.
That's funny.
So, how old was Vanessa Huggers?
She was
Probably our age.
She was about our age. She was a little older.
Well, yeah. But he was born,
It
so.
was probably Joe's. She was about Joe's age.
So, so Nia was 7. Brian was 10. And you were 11, and Joe was 12.
I think they would dry a fishing net in the yard, wouldn't they? Do you remember?
What's that?
Did they dry a fishing net in the yard?
They dried orange peels. They dried everything on the clothesline, you know, to make spices. They
Wow.
would just put up
That's cool.
anything up on
Microsoft. They asked me to do the church slate with Microsoft and with the dress, and I said I
Okay,
don't.
I didn't
don't
mean to
sell
do
out
that,
that character. I don't do that.
but
And they,
let's
they told me
stop.
what they were
No,
going to pay
turn
me.
it
And I
off.
said I'll get the bitch's dress on right now.
Well, it's just lasting 1 minute.
I know.
Well,
we're
Since
not
I've already
listening.
interrupted, I'm
No,
gonna wrap it up.
David, stop.
And I'm in this giant arena with
So,
Bill Gates
listen
in
to
the
this
dress,
now.
10,000
I'm playing
Microsoft
it
nerds,
for
and they
you.
revere Bill Gates. He's next to me. He's got the thing like, okay, here we go.
There's a lot of recycling.
And they're leaning in intense. The nerds are like, come on, get him, Bill. They're gonna do a funny skit. And I just start to ad lib. I go, well, Mr. Bill Gates, we like ourselves, don't we? Apparently, we made a deal with the devil. The devil said we can have 50 billion, but we have to go through life looking like a turtle.
Who is he talking about?
So that
Bill
the
Gates.
air got sucked out of the room. That was not a good
But
move.
who's doing a private party for Microsoft?
Bill Gates decides to ad lib. I'm not a turtle.
Which would have been good if they'd have gone with it.
And I just think I'm on a roll, you know. Well, there we go. We like ourselves. We make a lot of money and feel a little superior. And it's just getting quieter and quieter. I just couldn't read the room. I'm into the character. We made windows, didn't we? So we can creep up to the window at night and look at the fornicators. So it's getting weirdly dark in there. I go, let's do a superior dance. In the middle of the skit, he goes, no, thank you, goodbye.
Okay, that's the end
I
of
want-
it. That's the end of it. He quit that, but I wanted to show you that. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I did, accidentally.
Accidentally.
Well, Mom, do you have any chores for us to do?
Got plenty of hands.
I always have chores for you to do.
I wasn't talking about just me. But I have a
You
mirror.
want the other guys to be in on the chores.
All right. What do you want us to fix, Betty Brune?
How long are you gonna be here?
Not long.
I want you to visit with me.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Your 4 boys?
Mm-hmm. 4 boys.
The little one doesn't love you.
Well, call him up.
Well, I told him, I left him a message for him to call.
He
With
may
the,
be at work where he can't call.
Yeah, he is at work.
Oh.
So
Well,
don't bother him. Let's just
he
let him.
might be. Let's see, what day is it?
No, he
Wednesday.
called back. He called
Wednesday.
back.
He
called
I
did
back.
asked
call
myself
back?
that
Yeah.
question
Oh.
an hour ago.
How did we miss him?
Contractor just texted me. Oh, no, call. Chris will be by tomorrow, which put the screens up. So it's getting close.
I was about to say, is that close to the end?
Did you put a hammock out there yet and camp out?
No, because it's a mess. I did have him come out and clean it up. I was like, if this was done quicker, I wouldn't mind the pile of crap
Mm-hmm.
outside my back window. But since it's not, you need to have somebody come over and clean this all up.
Let's try again, Brant. Sorry. Brant,
Yeah, and
Sometimes you just have to.
and then
turn on my phone.
Neil.
Is the volume low or something? Because I don't remember hearing it at all.
Neil told the contractor to clean it up, and the guy on the job said, "How about if we spread it in the woods outside your fence?"
And Neil said, how about if we spread it in your backyard?
I did. I said you can spread it in the backyard, but in the contractor's backyard. He was like,
Got the message.
but they did have a pile of sand that they dug that was under my brick patio, and I said, I will take that. So make a pile over here.
Nice, it's lovely. Good for lovely. Are the doors in?
The door's not in, but the screens are going up tomorrow. So
Screens are going up tomorrow.
screened in patio, so it's getting close to the end.
Mm.
So wiggle your legs, Mom. It's time to go to Austin.
I know
Wiggle them good. Lift them up. Lift them up. One, left, right, left,
do it too.
right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Okay.
So, yeah, so
So Cindy went to, Cindy's the best at this. She went to
I don't.
get her
know
oil
if you
change, and so when she got her oil
90%
change,
before they start over.
they said, oh, we're gonna rotate your tires, and she said, okay, great, yes, do rotate my tires. And so she marked it with a piece of chalk, and when it came out, they hadn't rotated, and they said they did.
Oh.
So she's very good at that. So
Now,
then she
I
goes
do-
back and gets an oil change,
There are
but
four
they didn't
crews,
say anything to her,
different
and they
things.
changed the air filter.
The
And so when she
roof
got it,
people,
she goes, oh, okay, and came home.
build out.
Whenever she gets her oil change, I change out her air filter, cause it's easy for me. It takes me about 30 seconds on
And
her
they
car.
had a
So I
small
definitely don't
crew
want them
doing
changing
that,
out the air
build
filter.
out. And
But
then
now,
one
when you
day,
get your oil
some
change,
pictures.
some companies
Since the
will just
contract
change your air filter without asking. Often they'll ask beforehand, oh, your air, in fact, they asked one time, your air filter needs to be changed. And my wife said, my husband changed it this morning, so I don't think it does need to be changed. So we're on top of that sort of little thing to be caught, but she didn't catch it this time. And
Now,
I was not,
there
happy
is
that they
usually a lead
included
guy,
in an oil change request,
you know,
the air
for
filter,
that
and it was a
team.
$50
And
charge.
But he's
Did you-
part of
And
it.
so,
He's
we
part
need
of
to
the
be
team.
careful.
There's not
What does it
one
cost?
of the
Whenever you go.
subcontractors, contractors.
60.
There all the time.
60.
Matter of fact,
60.
contract is not
Mhm.
there
No.
much.
How
Yeah,
much
for an oil
does the air
change.
filter
And
cost?
as long
He was
as
asking at the
he-
store.
At the
fix
store, an
stuff
air
is
filter
not
costs
right.
What do they charge
I
for
don't really
$50,
care.
what I'm trying to say?
I don't like inefficiency and
So
waste
$20
of money.
for them to put it on.
but they charge
I don't
you
like 'em to
$20
do
for a
things.
$5 air filter also,
Yeah, if you
so
don't wanna
it's,
stay
it's,
out of it, and I get it. You know,
I don't know
it's
what they,
probably
I'm just
five
saying, I don't
jobs.
remember exactly what they are, I just know
Yeah.
that.
They're a lot
it's-
cheaper.
it's-
That's one of the
Yeah.
things.
I just got my
So be
oil
careful when you
changed,
ask
and they
for
said,
things.
they asked if I wanted my 2 filters, I don't know what the second one is.
Yeah, oil filter and air filter. Yeah.
And they said that, they showed me one that looked real terrible, and I said, well, I'm gonna have to come back for that, cause I don't know. I don't have money for that.
Yeah.
And I still haven't gone to AutoZone yet to get one.
Well, you wanna change your oil filter, don't you? You wanna change it.
I know. Oh, no, not, this one, I don't know if it was the oil filter. He said, the air filter and another filter, and I don't know what the other one was.
The air filter is generally easy to
Yeah.
change and they don't need to change in it.
Well,
When you have a problem with your car,
there's Clint, and then there's
you go
Joe.
in and you tell
So
them,
Joe is the hand.
this is what it's doing.
Mhm.
You don't